good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Let's continue part 2 of the Quantock Belle special right now. Once again, we have to wait. Now, we can actually move forward a little bit now, whereas we're going to leave Williton down platform, but we're only going to go forward just a little bit here. Because we are clear for this section, and we might as well cover this section while we have the opportunity, so I'm going to remove the brakes to do that. But at the next signal, we must stop. So you can see the signal very clearly now without any question. You know it's a red signal at this stage. And this will be good for our purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here. We're going to have to wait. So the question is, what are we waiting for? It's another Class 33 service coming along here. It's a freight service. Now, since it's a Class 33, and I know I'm a Class 33, are they going to be the same engine? This would actually be comical if we're driving the same engine. I think there's only the one model in this route, so it might be the same engine. We're going to find out as the train comes by here. So this is going to be a little bit funny here. Let's pop outside the cab and take a look. Here we are. So D6575. Remember that number, D6575, and of course, I'm your driver. Hello. I'm Cyclone. Hello. So we're going to be looking for D6575 I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that either. I keep going back in the cab because I hit the number pad. So we're going to move ahead here. We're going to see who that is coming. It is a different number. I'm going to pause because he's going very, very fast for me. So I'm going to pause. We're going to take a closer look. So we're in D6575. This is D6566. So as you can imagine, those are two different numbers. Remember, we were 6575. So that's what we have to work with today. I'm just going to leave the HUD up this time as he comes by and runs us over. There they are. You see the numbers side by side for just a moment there. And we're going to wait for our signal to clear, and we're going to be able to go. I've gone ahead and removed the brakes in preparation because we are still slightly off from the signal. I'm going to put a very tiny throttle application on because I'm expecting movement here. There it is. So now officially leaving Williton, our next stop is Watchet. We're going to be entering a 25-mile-per-hour segment now, and that's where we're going to put ourselves up to. We do have a little bit of uphill coming out of here, so we're going to be take advantage of that. As usual, the train had a little bit of a jump there, and we have our green signal showing that the line is clear ahead. So we can assume the line is clear. We do have a 15 in the middle of the line. Inexplicable 15. Probably a bridge crossing that can't handle the full speed or something along those lines. That's my guess. Again, it is only a guess, and it's very, very close. So I actually have to lower that brake immediately. Or add that brake immediately. I should say increase the brake. There we go. Terminology, ladies and gentlemen. It gets the best of us. Now, I'm going to be a minute early at this point. This is not as tight of a stop as the previous ones. So I'm going to be a minute early. Because I got a good jump on that signal. And I actually went up to the signal to start instead of staying at the station. So I got a good jump on that. I could have started from the station as soon as I saw the train. And I could have risked going faster into the signal. But we're going to do things properly. So I'm going to lower to my speed right now because I am going to need to get that down quickly. So remember what I said about being a minute early? That's probably going to change right now. That signal is from the other direction, so I'm not concerned about that signal that you just saw. I think this is the Donnerford halt, and I'm actually going too fast again. Let's lower that speed again. So I believe this is the Donnerford halt, and you can see it on the sign over there on the station. So yeah, it is the Donnerford halt. We are not stopping here today. You can see it is not a scheduled stop. I also saw the sign indicating which way the trains go in each case. So the two different directions of travel were indicated on that sign back there. I stopped and looked at that sign on a previous scenario. Gonna get ourselves back up to 25 now. I should be able to increase momentarily, and here it is. And as you can see, there's another speed limit drop ahead. So I've now lost another half a minute, just because we followed the speed limit. Only reason. We are on a slight downhill segment here, 1 in 247. Not enough to really affect the train. So I'm trying to maintain a little bit of a throttle. We had a small bit of lag there. It does happen. Now, even though we're shown as being half a mile out, we got 3 minutes to get there. So, yeah. I don't think we're going to have a problem being late for this one, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be on time for the stop. We just have to get our speed down in time. That's all we have to do. I'm going to do a light brake this time to try to work our way down casually because we have lots of time to do that. So I'm doing a light brake of about 20%. That's actually too much, so I'm backing up to 15%, now 10%. We have a whistle board, so we are demanded to whistle. With the horn, not with the mouth. As fun as that might be, and as annoying as some people might find it. So we're going to get down to 15 so we don't have a problem at Watchet. There is no signal at the end of Watchet platform. It remains a single track, so we don't have to worry about the whether we can continue or not. Going to blow the horn again as we come in because we're entering a station. Why not? Watchet is long enough for our entire train, so we're going to get the whole train in. 20 takes effect before the end of the platform. 15 is the station crossing limit. The crossing limit, rather. The level crossing. That's what I'm trying to say. Since I have the time, I'm going to go all the way to the end of the station if I can. You can tell the ETAs are flawed here, can't you? We're still expected to arrive in 1 minute. But the doors are open. We've arrived at Watchet. Leaving Watchet. Our next stop is Washford. We need to be there at 20:47, so in 10 minutes. Again, I don't think it's going to take that long. Actually, no, this is the 20 section. This one does take a little while. This one does take a little time. We also have some uphill gradients to navigate here, so I've gone ahead and eased off the throttle for a moment to get a feel for what the train wants to do. I'm going to be trying to maintain on these uphill gradients. That's a bit of a squealing noise. So, like I said, I find it harder dealing with an uphill gradient than with a downhill gradient. I don't know why that is. Like, if it's a really fast speed you're allowed to go and you can't make that speed, that's easy. Just run the 100% throttle into it and lose speed. That's all you have to do. You're not going to have a problem. But when you're going uphill at low speeds like this, it can actually be challenging to deal with the uphill gradient. Because you're not setting a brake and powering through it. You're just basically trying to figure out how much power you can apply. And as you saw, I just applied a little too much there, so I almost sped. I didn't, thankfully. And so 1 in 75, 1 in 76 rather. Now 1 in 81, 1 in 95, and it just keeps changing. So we're going to let it settle before we decide what to do. And it's enough now that I'm probably going to remove my throttle completely for a moment until we hit a better gradient. We're on a 1 in 213 right now, so I'm just trying to use minimal throttle applications. Oh, I did not. No. Whoa. Somehow I went up instead of down. That was the wrong button. So we're just going to keep our speed where it is right now after that mistake. Okay, now we're going to do a tiny application, see how that does for now. We're on a 1 in 479. It's shallowing out even more, so I'm probably not even going to want to keep a 2% throttle, to be honest. Yeah, this is getting to be flat ground for a moment. And now it's going to start becoming an uphill gradient again. So here we go. Removing throttle completely as I got to 20.8 miles per hour for a moment. So we're now on a 3% throttle. We're now at a 1 in 123 gradient. So we're going to have to find a higher speed of throttle, or higher percentage of throttle to go at this point, because we seem to be losing power now. There is a whistle board. That is the more pressing concern. I am once again gaining speed at this point. And it's a very slow increase at 12% throttle. So that kind of gives you an idea where we need to be right now. Probably around 9-10% is where I want to be. Ooh, the sun did a little number inside the cab there. So I'm down to 9% now, and that is actually losing speed. So up to 10%. We're going to be early anyway, so I'm trying not to push it too much. We can be slightly under 20. We should be okay. We have 6 minutes to arrive at Washford. We have 1.15 miles to go. And at 20 miles per hour, it takes 3 minutes to go a full mile. We're just under that. So it's going to take slightly over 3 minutes to go a full mile. And that's basically what we have to work with. We're going to have lots of time for this stop, actually. The ETA is completely screwed up here. So I imagine there's got to be a train in the platform holding us from entering right now. That's the only thing I can imagine. You noticed, I'm sure, that whistle board. Just to do another quick review of what's left of our itinerary, we're going to be stopping at Washford. We're going to proceed another, I can't see where it is, but we're going to be proceeding to Blue Anchor at around some corner here. And after we stop at Blue Anchor 8 minutes after this, 7 minutes after this scheduled departure time, we're going to continue to Minehead, which is going to skip Dunster and anything else in the way. We're just going to go straight from Blue Anchor to Minehead, and that is about scheduled 13-minute journey. But if we look on, I'm going to have to put a little speed on. But if we look on top of the train, you're going to notice when we look over at Minehead, it's only 6 miles away. It does not take that long. So, yeah. With 2 other stops in the way and lots of time wasted there, I don't think it takes that long. So the timetable starts out just a little bit tight, but it actually is not as scary as it looks when you actually play the scenario. Because we're going to be super early for the stop at Washford. It's almost like the game has had its core modified to make this scenario easier. In the same vein, some of them get harder, like, you know, Norfolk Southern Coal District. Like, I have so much time for this stop. I don't even want to come in at 20. I honestly don't want to come in at 20. The distance signal told us that we are good to proceed in the station. So I'm just going ahead and dropping the speed a little bit to make sure we don't come in too fast. Because we have all the time on Earth. We could travel to the moon and back for this stop. Like, that's how much time we have. Disclaimer, you cannot actually travel to the moon and back. So there's our green signal. We have another whistle board as we pass the green signal, which also serves as a warning for the station. Hey, we're here. So we have to be there in 3 minutes. We're about 500 something mile away. Not going to be a problem. I'm just letting the speed slow down at this point. I'm down to 12. I'm down to 11. I'm happy about it. Down to 10. Now I'm going to put a little throttle in as we move along the station platform. I don't want to stop completely too early. Now I'm going to lower the speed again now that we are on the platform. Going to apply some brakes now to bring it down even faster. I can let this engine go off the platform. We have 4 cars, so I'm going to let this engine go off the platform. And I should be able to put the brakes on completely now. So we're going to do that. Arrival at Washford Station. Leaving Washford a little earlier than I thought, actually. Yeah, I didn't think we were supposed to leave yet. Departure was in 2 minutes. So leaving Washford, our next stop is Blue Anchor. And we're going to be there again super early, unless there is a train in the way. We know there are no signals leaving the station, so we can go ahead. We're on a little bit of a downhill segment. I might have sped into that a little quickly, but we do have a 25, so we can tolerate the extra increase now. And I said I like downhills better than uphills, so I'm going to prove that right now. We're on a 1 in 129 gradient. Let's put a, I'm going to say 14% brake application on and see what happens. We are still increasing speed, which is what I expect. Oh, we're really going to increase speed now. Wow, 1 in 67, 65 gradient. That's going to be challenging. I have a 17% brake application on right now. You can actually see the gradient. It's a strong enough pardon me. It's a strong enough gradient you can actually see it on the track ahead. You can see it going downhill. That is how strong the gradient is. I'm up to a 20% brake application. That is still challenging this train. I have no throttle at all, 20% brakes. So I need to power those brakes on. 24%, 28%, 31%. I'm going to just go ahead and do a major application at this point because I don't know what else to do. I have to hold my speed. 38% application is holding the train. 38%. And now we're going down slightly. So this is what I like to see. We're going to have some control over the train now. A 38% brake application on a 1 in 65 gradient. I believe our steepest gradient on this railroad. So I am monitoring. Since I can't really do anything with the throttle, that's really all I can do right now. Just continue to monitor. We are continuing to monitor. The speed is staying where it is. We do have the station coming up. So 15 mile per hour limit is also approaching us. We have to keep that in mind. We're not supposed to arrive until 8:56. We're going to arrive well before 8:56. So we're less than a mile out. So we are going to slow down to our 15 a little early, knowing that. I have no issue doing that. Our gradient has smoothed to a 1 in 74. Not much of a smooth, but still, we'll take it. So I've lowered the speed a little bit, but I'm not going to go down to 15 quite yet. I'm just trying to maintain enough control right now. That's all I'm doing. Now, I may have made a mistake in a previous video. I suggested that the station used to continue, or the route used to continue beyond Minehead. But I'm looking at the map right now. There's no indication on the map of a track that used to go beyond Minehead. So it looks like I might have been mistaken in that. If anyone made a comment like that in the comments, then that is something I am aware of. I will say so much in response to you, probably. I went down to 15 a lot earlier than I expected because I actually had brake supply a lot sooner. So let's go ahead and put some power back on. So basically the railroad does not continue. The railroad actually stopped, and if it were to continue, it would be crossing the path of what is known as the Esplanade beyond the avenue, which is where the station stops, which is also Warren Road. Warren Road is the avenue. So there's a road that continues along the coast instead. That becomes the Quay West. It ends at a roundabout, and that's where everything ends. Now, there is a what looks like a track indication mark there. Greenlay Roller Road or something like that. I might not be reading that right because I'm trying to read it quickly, so I will make mistakes. So there appears to be something there. I don't know what it is. But that does continue. So it might have been a separated track, but it was not directly connected to Minehead as far as I know. I don't believe it was directly connected to Minehead, because there is no indication of anything beyond Minehead. Brakes. So we've now entered the 15. I've removed the brakes completely as we enter Blue Anchor. We got lots of time for the stop. I'm actually going to go ahead and reapply them for a little bit. So how far to a Minehead now? 3.57 miles. There you go. At 20, that would take about 9, 10, 11 minutes. But we have to stop here first. Now, we're not scheduled to depart until 8:56. It's 8:52. So like I said, if you can keep on time early, you're going to have lots of time for these stops in the later half. Does that say shredded salt? Shredded suet. Okay. It looks like the signal is green up ahead, so we have nothing to worry about in terms of leaving the station. We're just going to pull the entire train up to the front here, and that's going to be that. So So full brakes now. We're going to go ahead and ease it off for our passengers. Doors are open at Blue Anchor, down platform. Leaving Blue Anchor. We are leaving super early. We were not supposed to leave for 3 minutes, but they processed the stop and they said, that's it, everybody go. And they want us out of here, so we're out of here. I'm just going to take my time. 15 is our limit coming out of the station. Minehead is our next and final stop. We're going to be passing through Dunster on the way, so I'm going to try to manage our speed coming through the exit to the platform. I'm going to need a little bit of brakes. Now, you notice that I brought up the shredded Suez sign that I pointed out as we passed by. And I looked it up while we were in the little interim there. As short as it was, I paused so I had a little bit of time to look it up in between. You're not seeing that, obviously. But what I looked up is that Suez is the raw, hard fat of beef, lamb, or mutton found around the loins and kidneys. So insist on shredded fat, ladies and gentlemen. It is sold in cardboard boxes. Insist on shredded fat. For your health never mind. That's what it is, and I find that very interesting. So because we left 3 minutes early, and I'm not really concerned about how long this is going to take, we're going to concern ourselves with how long this is going to take, because it looks like the ETA is still supposed to be right around the time we're supposed to get there. So I think we're waiting for a train to leave before we can pull in. This might be where the timetable gets a little tight at the end. But other than that, we're good to go. We can take our time. I'm just staying at 22 right now because technically we aren't supposed to have left yet. We're gaining a minute immediately just by staying at this speed. And we do have 2.5 miles. Actually, now it's about 2 3/4 miles to go. Sorry, 2 3/4 miles to go. So at these speeds, it's going to take us about 8 minutes anyway. So being slightly under the speed limit means there's less chance of us speeding. So I'm trying to figure out how Suez is using cuisine now. Welcome to Cooking, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Suez is found in several traditional British dishes. No wonder I've never heard of it in North America. Suez pastry is soft in contrast to the crispiness of short crust pastry, which makes it ideal for certain sweet and savory dishes. Suez is most widely used in sweet British baked puddings. Oh. There's a speed limit change coming up. Such as jam, roly-poly, and spotted... I'm not going to say it. Spotted something on a male anatomy. It's not meant to be dirty, but that's what they called it way back then. Savory dishes include dumplings, which are made using a mixture of Suez, flour, and water rolled into balls that are added to stews during the first 20 minutes or so of cooking. The speed limit coming up is 15 miles per hour, by the way. We're going to keep that in mind, so I haven't actually increased the throttle. And I don't think I have a reason to worry about brakes right now. So in the savory dish steak and kidney pie or steak and kidney pudding, a bowl is lined with a Suez pastry. The meat is placed inside, and a lid of Suez pastry tightly seals the meat. The pudding is then steamed for approximately 4 hours before serving. Suez is also an ingredient in traditional mincemeat, which is also referred to as fruit mince pie. Due to its high energy content, cold weather explorers use Suez to supplement the high daily energy requirement needed to travel in such climates. Typically, the energy requirement is around, well, we won't talk about that. Suez is added to food rations to increase the fat content and help meet the high energy requirement. So there you go. If you are from North America and you did not know what souhait is, you've learned something and how it's used in cuisine today. You have learned something. Apparently it's compared to butter and other fats and has a very similar smoke point, 200 degrees Celsius it looks like. We need to put the brakes on now because we're on a downhill. We are approaching a 15. Get that brake on. We should be down in time. There we go. So we just crossed the 15. We are now under effect of the 15. Actually, the sign was early on that. The sign was early. We have to stay in this 15 for a little while now, so I'm going to keep a brake application on-ish. There we go. So I believe this is Dunster right here. Yeah, this is definitely Dunster. You can see the sign over there. Again, we're not stopping here today, and from here is a straight shot into Minehead. We're not going to have any more twists and turns at this point, just a straight shot. 1.5 miles. After we get into the 25, we are clear. Until we hit the 15 and the 10, of course. So taking a look again, we have to arrive at 9:09. It is now 8:59. I'm going to start increasing speed again now because we are now entering the 25 mile per hour segment. You may notice I timed that for when we were going to cross the sign so we would not speed. So we are clear of that. We are good. We're not going to speed. We have a green signal. I'm going to hang out at about 23 right now. That seems to be a good speed to work with. I don't think there's any real hills coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and, no gradients I should say, not hills. And we should go ahead and leave that as it is for a moment here. And our speed is slightly going down here. We're going to be passing around this point, I believe, the Minehead sewage works. That's somewhere in this range of space here. We might have already passed it. If we look at the back of the train, we might be... no, I can't really see it right now, but actually that might be it right there. Somewhere in that area, I think, is the Minehead sewage works. We continue to have green signals. That is a distance signal saying green. We have a 10 mile per hour limit ahead. I think we're going to have one more road that we go under, one more bridge. We're going to pass the Alcombe Common as we come along to that. The bridge is the Seaward Highway. The Seaward Highway. Which ends at a roundabout with Warren Road in Minehead. Then we're just going to pull through all the sidings around Minehead Station, and we're going to be in a 10 mile per hour spot. And Warren Road, or the Avenue, is going to be at the end of the station. I'm going to get you a final screenshot from that area just to show you the geography. Because we are way early, you can see the buffer at the end of the track. We are way early. So I'm going to go ahead and just lower my speed a little bit now. There is another signal up ahead. This is the other reason I'm slowing down, because I know I'm super early. I want to find out whether there is a signal that we have to stop at up ahead. So I'm going to go down to 10 now and keep an eye straight ahead to see what's happening with that signal. There's one more signal as well. I expect there to be at least a yellow in one of those because the end of the track is ahead. So at 10 miles per hour, it would take us about 6 minutes to go a mile, I believe. Something like that. Yeah, 6 minutes is exactly right. And we're going less than a mile. So yeah, we shouldn't have a problem. We do have a green. So I believe we might have already crossed under the bridge, or did we? No, we have not crossed under the bridge yet. Or maybe back in the day it was a level crossing. At the time this was modeled, perhaps it was a level crossing. Because nowadays there is actually a bridge here. Because that bridge, you notice the double track next to us here? That double track begins there. That is a bridge today. I'm fairly certain of that because I'm looking at the open railway map. Well, no, you know what? No, it is a level crossing. Sorry, it is a level crossing today. I'm looking at the map again. It is a level crossing. So, my mistake. It actually does show us a level crossing. In any case, it is the last road we cross. And we're going to proceed into the station now through all the... I thought that track cut off. That was the platform. Okay. My mistake. The track continues. So we're cruising into Minehead after a run along the entire route. We managed to drive the entire route in one sitting. And I actually did do it in one sitting, by the way. I didn't pause. And I actually just realized a little too late that I didn't actually do a cut for the part 1, part 2. So you know what? I may just leave that. We'll see in the editing what happens. But I'll have to edit in another changeover if I need to do a second part there. So I may just leave it. So I'm just letting the train cruise along to the end of the platform. Why not? It's a huge platform. We're going to go ahead and get the entire platform in so we can get a better screenshot from the road at the end of the station. That's basically what I'm doing. So we're going to Reader's Halt right now. And now that the engine's leaving the green, I'm going to just go ahead and stop here. Welcome to Reader's Halt, also known as Minehead. That's the end of the scenario. Let's look at the train as we finish. From our perch across the avenue as it turns into Warren Road, you can see the water over on the left, the water area there. That water area I don't have named on the open railway map, but it is some kind of a strait or a river or something. Actually, no, it looks more like it's connected to the Atlantic Ocean. I just don't know what the area is called, and this map does not seem to show that information. But in any case, that was a very nice scenario. It actually started out a little tight, as it said, especially trying to get going. We had to do that shunting at the start very, very carefully to make sure we got it all done in time. And then it got lighter and lighter, the restrictions as we went. So we actually ended up very early for this service. We ended up super early for our arrival today. And needless to say, the passengers are happy with the service today and are looking to book another trip. Job well done. Yes, I added the word, but I'm just saying, job well done. So we're going to go ahead and get to our scoring screen, and we're going to finish our set of scenarios for West Somerset Railway. We're going to take a look at what's left in this route coming up. And that's completed. So West Somerset Railway, Belle of the Ball has been unlocked. I believe I have all the achievements for West Somerset Railway now unlocked. I don't know if there are any that I'm missing. and I don't have a list of them in front of me. I really should make a list of the achievements for a DLC before I start that DLC. But in any case, we are done West Somerset Railway, Belle of the Ball, and in terms of my Steam achievements, I have now earned apparently 68 achievements of the 1,300 plus that are available, and some of them are impossible to get because I'm not going to be able to get, for example, the 220 anymore. So I can't do that. It's going to be interesting when I go to, if I get to the point that I'm running out of achievements and the only ones left are DLC, I'm going to be like, DTG, more, I need the DLC for this because I can't get the achievement. Help! I can't buy it anymore. Help! So it's going to be interesting if I get to that point that I actually run out of achievements. But I'm going to get as many as I can because why not? We're going to have some fun with it. And we're just going to clear them by default as I show you the scenarios. So I'm going to do the same thing with the Truck Simulator games when I start showing those. I already have a tutorial recorded, but a lot of other videos got lost because the quality was garbage, and some of them didn't record. So when I do the Truck Simulator games, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you some journeys that lead to goals in that game, and certain deliveries you have to make, and that's how we're going to unlock the goals. You're going to see me doing the goals. So that's how that's going to work. So it's very neat how some of the achievements are earned in some of these games. In any case, that's the end of this scenario. That's the end of this set of 6 scenarios, in fact. And let's take a look at what other scenarios are available on this route. So taking a quick look at the screen here, you can see that we have a Class 03 shunter from the West Somerset Diesels waiting in career mode. We have 4 for the Class 07 shunter, all career scenarios, ranging from 15 to 50 minutes in length here. That Diesel Duo is a very interesting sized one. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to take that train from Minehead to Williton as a shunt job, apparently. And then we have some Class 14 services down here. Those are going to be in the future. 33s are done because we played those in the DLC. There's a 47. And then, of course, the 2 steam engines, they're done as well because they were part of the DLC. So we know what items are done. We've done 3 engines as part of the DLC. We have 4 other engines. 2 of them are shipped together. You can buy the 47 and the 03 together in one pack. So that's technically 3 more DLC that we can explore here on West Somerset Railway. I'm probably going to need to explore the Class 7 before I go to the pack. I don't know if the 14 will be part of the Diesel Day coming up in June. But I do know that the 47 very well could, because the 47 does have a model at the West Somerset Railway, as does the 03. So I'm gonna have to come back and do those 2 scenarios at some point. I'll surprise you with those. I'm not gonna let you know I'm doing it. I'm just gonna surprise you with them. I may do them at some point just to play them and have them stored, and then you're just gonna see them out of order. In that case, so you're just gonna see them played, and that's gonna be that. So when they show up, it's a 75-minute scenario for a shunting job. Shunting demonstration, and then the Class 47 is a 40-minute. So when you see those are going to be coming up for those lengths of time. Everything else is no more than 50 minutes. So that Class 03 shunter is the longest scenario remaining for this route, for this version of the route anyway. In any case, let's look at the standard scenario tab as well, see if there's anything I'm missing. Over at West Somerset Railway, there's nothing. Nothing official. I would have to go to all scenarios and see if there's anything for the workshop, but nothing official is on the standard tab. And we're going to eventually come to the West Somerset Members Edition, because I actually have a Diesel Gala scenario pack, as you can see here. And you can see, for example, Diesel Gala 1 is a Williton to Bishop's Lyddard, and that is a Class 52 scenario. We have a couple of them actually. Diesel Gala 4 is that as well, London Paddington to Minehead, so a nice special service coming from all the way out, apparently. And the trains Masquerade, the actual train's not part of the DLC, obviously. There's a Just Trains Class 20 that shows up twice in that. We have the Class 66, we have the Class 50, we have the 33, which shows up, and we've already seen that. That train is part of the DLC, so this is just going to get used here in the service at this point. It's just going to get put on extra service as a standard scenario, 95-minute journey, and that's what we're going to do for that. And then we have an AP Class 205 somehow in this group, in its BR Green days. So we have that. And then we have the Vulcan Productions. I haven't installed it yet, but when I do install it, the picture will show up there. So this was a payware pack. I want to point out, this was a payware pack. It has been withdrawn from sale. You can no longer buy this pack. It still shows on the website, but you can no longer buy it. They could have possibly kept it for sale by removing the sounds. I guess they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to have two conflicting products out there for whatever reason, or have it so that people had to buy it again or something like that. So they didn't want to have that. So that train I do have. It requires the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 55 sound pack, which is no longer available. That is why it was withdrawn from sale. I will be doing that for you in the future. We will be taking that train on a drive on this route in the future, and we're going to introduce that pack itself because it has a lot of other scenarios. This one was not included with the pack. This was in the scenario pack on UK Train Sim that I'm looking at right now. That you see all these scenarios for, the 205, the 55, and so on. So that's not included with the VP pack. But I will at some point show you the VP pack as well, because it has scenarios on a lot of routes, including the West Highland line. So we're going to go ahead and look at that train in the future. That is on my schedule because you cannot get that anymore, and I feel I just want to show that off and show you what it was, so you can have the experience even if you can't drive it yourself. And I'm going to do that. That's what I'm doing with, obviously, with South Wales Coastal as well with the Arriva trains. I'm going to do that with the original North Wales Coastal route for the half that I have. I'm going to have to convert the scenarios for the other ones. So, yeah, I'm going to show you pretty much just some stuff that you can't get anymore. And, of course, a lot of stuff you can still get because I want to show off some of your content on some of the stuff you can get as well. So, with that said, that's a sampling of what remains on West Somerset Railway. We're going to look... Oh, and I scrolled down. You might notice some more scenarios. The WSR 9351 local comes with the route. That is a steam engine, so we're going to have 4 scenarios to come with that. 3 of them are not timed. I don't know why they're not timed. So I don't know what the timing is on those. I really don't know. But this one claims to be 100 minutes. Oh boy. Yeah. So, yeah. These are standard scenarios, so we're just going to worry about driving them in standard mode. But that's in the future. That's long from now. We're not doing that now. What's coming up next? I have no idea. Just, it's the end of a route. I can't tell you what's next. It's going to be another route, obviously, or another DLC. It's going to be whatever I choose to play or whatever I choose to air that I've already recorded, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I hope you enjoyed this first look at the West Somerset Railway. We will be back on this Heritage Railway line. We are going to check out more of it, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I don't think I said that yet, actually. And except earlier in the video, you can donate on Patreon. You can join my Discord server and request things you want me to play, including West Somerset Members Edition. And in the meantime, again, have a wonderful day, evening, or night. I'll see you next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.